Hello everybody, welcome to the Very Fun Yarns channel and to episode 60 of the Very Fun Yarns podcast. If you are new to the channel, thanks for coming to check things out, and if you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. So today is Friday, June 27th, and it is a little bit sooner that I'm coming to you than I thought I would, but I had a bunch of things that I am working on that I finished, and I had some time today. So I thought I would put a little episode out for you. It might be a little shorter than normal, but that's okay. So since I came to you last, we had, I was at Zombie Knit Apocalypse, which is a big knitting retreat here in Southeast Minnesota. And I think there were about 170 people who came from like the Midwest, upper Midwest area, and then across the United States. It was tons of fun. If you were one of those people who came and I got to meet you or talk to you, it was great. So I'm glad that I had that opportunity to meet so many of you and to visit. I always love when people show me what they've been working on with my yarn. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun to catch up with friends that I haven't seen in a while and to meet new ones. And then our strawberry season here, it kind of petered out a little bit. We stopped filling orders this past Monday. So we run a fruit farm, which I've told y'all before, and we grow primarily Concord grapes, strawberries, and then small amounts of raspberries and blackberries and a few other fruits. And our strawberries used to be our like biggest producer of the whole farm. But in the past few years, we've had a hard time with weather and managing everything. So we've downsized a lot. So we don't spray any chemicals on our fruit. So because of the extreme weather changes, it's just a lot more difficult to manage without spraying things. So anyway, it was looking really good. I think when I came to you last, I thought it was going to be a good season. And the plants themselves actually did okay, except for the fact that the deer kept eating the actual plant themselves. So when they eat the plant, they eat the buds of the flowers as well, or the like beginnings of the strawberries. They don't necessarily go for the fruit. That's more the raccoons or the turkeys, which we also had our fair share of this year. Anyway, so it was kind of a bummer. I think we lost a lot of produce in our strawberry field because of wildlife this year. So we stopped filling orders on Monday, but we are still getting, 10 to 15 pounds a day or every other day. So we've just been freezing those for ourselves and our family. So that was all fine and dandy until Wednesday. We started to get heavy rain Wednesday night. And between Wednesday night and Thursday night, we got like 3.5 inches of rain here at the farm. And so originally I was going to make these like rainy day vlog, and I was going to chat with you in between. And I did take some, other video that I will probably put at the beginning of my chatter a little bit, and then some more at the end of my chatter. So it'll be an episode with a little bit of life mixed in. But so we live on the top of a hill, but even with living on top of the hill, it just came down in buckets, particularly last night. We were even under a tornado warning at one point. So me and my 4 kids were home. My husband was taking shelter at work yet. And then 5 of our 6 cats are agreeable to go into carriers to take them down in the basement because our basement is not finished. So we don't really like to have them wandering around in the basement. They don't get to go down there. That's not like a thing that they get to do. And then our other kitty, S'mores, who doesn't like to be kenneled, we just leave it's open and she goes downstairs and she likes to hide under the couch, which is a perfectly safe place for her to be if we had a tornado. So anyway, that was kind of crazy. And when it was happening, it was like a river in our front yard. So even though we were at the top of the hill, you could see the like water just whooshing down and going along the side, and our strawberries are kind of on the side. So we did have like standing water, and I think there are still puddles out there today, although I haven't been out to check. I've been doing inside work. We will try and we left the field kind of rest today to see. I knew it was going to be really squishy to walk in. So tomorrow morning we'll go out and we'll assess further if we are going to get any more berries for the season or if we are completely done. But So that's kind of been the excitement in my life here. Also, after Zombie Apocalypse, I was so inspired that I came home with just lots of ideas. Particularly, I have two new cowl patterns in the works. One is going to be a color work, which I've already drawn up the chart for, and another one, I'm going to show you a little snippet of it, even though I'm going to be ripping it out and starting it over. So that's really fun and exciting. The lovely thing about having my kids home right now is that particularly the two older ones, they want extra hours to work. So like yesterday, I didn't have to spend a whole day making 6 batches of jam. Each of my two olders did 3 batches, and so then I could spend that time designing and working on. I updated inventory and all that kind of stuff. So I've really been full on working Very Fun Yarns things since last weekend, which has been fabulous. So enough chatter about life. Let me get on to show you what I've been working on. So I actually finished 2 blankets, both of which I finished today. Now, technically, I finished the, I'm going to save the smaller one for a second. I finished the bigger one. I finished the knitting about a week and a couple days ago, maybe 9 days ago, when my friends were in town, but then I had to do the I-cord edging. So this is the Bits and Bobs blanket. If you will recall, this is the, it's by Kay Jones, patterns by Kay Jones, and it is I made it into a temperature blanket for my 3rd child who graduated high school this year and will be going on to college in the fall. I made some notes here so I can tell you I used a total of 4,416 yards. I held 1 strand of stroll fingering from Knit Picks, along with a undyed strand of Berry Tough sock, so 2 fingering strands. And then I ended up making it kind of an odd size. It was, I think I didn't, it's in my project page. I didn't write it in my notes, but I think it was like 39 by 73 or 75, something like that. So it's a little bit of an odd size, but that's just how I ended up. I probably could have made it slightly wider, but it's perfectly big enough. It was meant to be like a throw blanket to put on his twin size bed. Want to kind of keep him warm, but here we go. Here's the final. I'll probably put some more pictures into. So it's pretty wide this way. And then how long it is, you can't really see it, but if I hold it this way, you can see that it has the I-cord edging on, which this pattern is very stretchy. So the I-cord edging does give it a little bit more structure. And I just held for the edging, I held 2 strands of my big hair in there, 2 strands of the navy stroll fingering. And I did not follow the directions for the I-cord in the pattern. I instead did the cast on 3, pick up 1 from the edge, and then the knit 2 through the back loop. Oops, messing up my recording stuff here. That is very common. So that'll be noted in my project page as well. But this is really hot. It is kind of getting warm up here. I do have the air conditioning on today, but this room that I'm in gets really warm in the late afternoon at this time of the year. So that was project number 1. That has been going since January. So not too bad, 6 months for probably like closer to 7 because I started at the beginning of January. Then the second one I finished, which I actually, when I wrote my notes this morning, I actually had it under whips because I hadn't finished it until this afternoon, but I did manage to finish it right before starting this, and I managed to weave in the ends. So now I just got to figure out how to take really good pictures of this, but this is my new pattern, Side by Side, which will be coming out in September. And it features these kind of rows of knit 1 below. So that's one side. And then the other side has a single. Let's see here. Which color is the best to show you? You kind of see. So if I stand back, this pattern, it starts up here in this corner and it goes corner to corner, and then it goes down to the bottom. So it is a DK weight blanket. You can do it with either one strand of DK weight or two fingerings held together. I did it with two fingerings so that I could marl it and kind of make it look really fadey like that. I think it's a fabulous pattern for scraps because you can just use up your entire scrap. When one gets used up, you just add in another. I love that about it. Let's see what else to tell you. So it's knit on a US 6 needle. And like I said, it's corner to corner, primarily garter stitch, but with these little pattern sections mixed in. And it comes in two sizes. You can make it in any size you want, but the math in the pattern is for a baby blanket size, which is what this one is, which is a 30 by 30 inch blanket. Now that is unblocked. I will be blocking this blanket and then taking my blocked measurements and including that in the pattern as well. I have a feeling it is going to stretch because it is garter. But that one is 30 by 30, and the large size will be a rectangle that is 50 by 60, I believe. It's been a while since I looked at that. But I'll be casting on probably this weekend sometime. We have a family wedding to go to, but maybe after we get back or early next week. I'm going to be doing a rainbow one next. So that will be really fun. So yeah, and this pattern is out to 7 fabulous test knitters right now, and they're doing a great job on it, asking lots of fabulous questions, helping me work through things. When I wrote it, I was like, this is such a simple pattern. Maybe it's too simple to write. I always kind of second guess myself when I do patterns, and I think I have this idea, and I think, well, this isn't really a creative idea, and I second guess myself, but it seems to be going great, and it's not too simple. It's still interesting enough for intermediate or more advanced knitters, but it's still doable for a beginning knitter. So if that is something you are looking to make in the fall, you can watch for that pattern to come out probably late September. We're going to kind of see how my testers do, so we can get some finished objects to show you size and different color combinations and whatnot. Okay, so that is it for finished objects, the 2 big blankets I've been working on. Other than that, I haven't really been knitting. Those have been my primary projects, I would say. I did work on 2 other things during the retreat weekend and a little bit this week. So let me show you those before I give you the sneak peek of the new design. The first one is my vanilla socks that I am making for my son Lincoln. Now these are knit with, let's see, do I have it? I do. These are knit with Mitchell Creations, the Flower Bomb colorway. And it is a fingering weight, 463 yards per 100 grams. And I have gotten the leg done. So I kind of stopped because I wanted to see, I had to do some weighing, and I was at the retreat, and I didn't want to fuss with the weighing yet. But the mini for the cuff is Knit Picks Stroll, and then the main color will be this Mitchell's Creation. I also have this. So I think I'm hoping to have enough that I can do one sock with the purple for the toe and the cuff, and the heel in the yellow, and then the other sock, the heel in the purple and the cuff and the toe in the yellow. So that's why I said I need to weigh my yarn, but I feel like it will be enough. But who knows? I guess I have to. My son has big feet, so I did. You can kind of see. Can you kind of see where I increased a little bit here? I made it skinnier. I do a 72 inch on a US 0, which is what these are. And I usually do 72 inch from the top, but I cast on 72 inch for the ribbing but then decided to go down 4 stitches to 68 stitches for the leg because I noticed the last pair I made him was a little baggy. So, and then when I got to be about an inch before the heel flap, I increased those 4 stitches back in so that he would have that extra circumference for the heel and then the instep of his foot. So hopefully that works well. I'll probably work on those maybe this weekend when I go to the wedding when we're driving. It's a good take-along project because it is just vanilla knitting. So I worked on that. And then the other thing I made some pretty good progress on was my long sleeve soldotna. So if you will recall, when I came to you last, I still had quite a bit of got all kinds of colors attached. I still had quite a bit of the body left. Well, I finished the body. So let me show you where I am now. So you can see, I obviously am making it longer than a crop. If I stand up, I don't want to bung but it kind of goes to like kind of where this shirt is. Like this is my hip bone right here. So just slightly below my my waist, but I think that will be a good spot. And this is super wash, so it does sometimes stretch a little. Not as much, I don't think, because it is color work and you have those floats in there that kind of give it a little more structure. But this is knit out of the Very Fun Yarns DK Tweed. I love this base for, and I'm just shaking the camera today. I'm so sorry. I love this base for color work because it is just, I don't know, it comes in, I dyed in lots of colors, and it has the little extra tweedy bits in, which just sort of make it a little more interesting and fun to knit. The one cowl that I have not started knitting yet, but I did design, it's the color work cowl, is going to be done. My first sample will be in this DK Tweed base. It will be I think, I haven't decided now that I say that. Maybe it will be in sport weight. I don't know, DK and sport are pretty similar. So maybe I'll do one in each and give you information for both in the pattern. So anyway, that is it for my main projects I've been working on. The only other thing I have really been doing is this new design, which is a cowl and was inspired by some of the lovely ladies that were at ZK, because I made these special little fingering weight mini skein sets for us based on everybody's color preferences. So I kind of made one with each person in mind. So anyway, and they were kind of joking that, oh, now we need a pattern. What are we going to make with it? So I was inspired by something and I came home and I started to work on it. Now so this is where I got so far. It's going to look different though. I've decided, so it's going to be, the pattern will require 6 mini skeins, or you could do it with 5 if you wanted it to be a slightly bit shorter, but 6 20-gram mini skeins in fingering weight, and then a 50-gram, I guess it's a mini skein too, but like a half skein. So that's my plan. I really appreciate when designers take the time to fit patterns to, when you can. I know you can't always. Sometimes this doesn't work, but to create patterns that fit a certain amount of yarn. So, like if it's a shawl and it takes 120 grams, now a lot of dyers will dye at like 150 gram skeins, which that works. But it's kind of annoying if you need just a little bit more, or just, do you know what I'm trying to say here? If it's 110 grams and the pattern takes 110 grams and your skeins come in 100 grams, it's like you got to open up a whole new skein for just 10 grams, which is kind of frustrating. So I'm trying really hard in my design to make it work that way. So right now I did an edging here that was in one of the minis, but I'm going to switch that to the main color. And then the main feature of this, there will be more of this in the main one, is this funky kind of stitch here. It's hard to see, but you can see that there. It is my version of what I believe is called a double horizontal chain stitch. Now, I haven't been able to find a lot of information about this particular stitch because, in fact, I found one tutorial, that was it, which is not very much. And the way the person did it in that tutorial, I modified it and I changed it a little bit. I mean, the general gist of it is still the same, but it's slightly different. So when I do complete this pattern, there will be a video tutorial to go with it, both how to do the stitch and then how to knit after you have this main stitch done, because your stitches, it's basically like a twisted, it's a funky way of doing kind of a double twisted stitch, basically, for lack of a better explanation. And then the result comes out looking kind of like a chain, like when you crochet. So that's what that area is going to be. So that's kind of a lot of babbling for me to say. I'm excited about this. All of the double, so in my new version in my head, which I'm going to cast on tonight since I finished everything else, all of the double horizontal chain stitches are going to be done in this main color. And then the stockinette sections will be done in the mini skein colors. So, and I think it's a little bit wide as it is right now. I wanted it to be a little bit closer fitting cowl. So I have some modifying to do, but I did write up the pattern this morning. I took some time to do that, which was really exciting. And I'm going to wind the rest of my mini skeins here and rip this off and start to cast it back on again and get to work. So yeah, so I'm really excited about I think I said excited 3 million times already on this video, and I apologize if that's annoying, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I think I didn't realize how uninspired I felt until I went to ZK, and then I felt inspired. It's sort of funny how that happens, isn't it? Well, anyway, I'm excited to have time during July and August, since I have all of the Advent dyeing done already. I'm excited to spend time really diving into a lot of these design ideas I have, so that when fall and winter comes, I have them kind of, lined up in my brain and ready to go to test knitting and to come out at that time of the year when so many of us like to make these sort of things for gifts or just for ourselves and our family and our friends. So that is the plan there. Like I said, I have this fingering weight cowl in the works. I have a sport or DK weight colorwork cowl that will also hopefully be coming. I feel pretty confident about that. I just got to work out the details. And then I have a chunky weight one that I also have in the works that I need to dye some of the new base that I got for it so that I can swatch it and see the sizing and everything. So yeah, that's really exciting. I don't know what will come after cowls, but I seem to be in the cowl phase right now. Like I was in a hat phase last year, but I think, I'll just go with it and we'll see. I would also really like to revamp. Oh, I picked out yarn. I'm going to redo the So Sweet wrap pattern. That was my very first pattern. The pattern is still perfectly good, but I'm going to update it with just some more information. Like it doesn't even have right now information on like final measurements and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to knit a large version of it, and probably it will be renamed as a wrap and not a lap blanket, and it'll just be a small size and a large size. Yeah, so those are my immediate design plans. Other than that, very fun yarn news. I did update the website. I did tell you I was working on inventory. I do still have a few more colors that I dyed for ZK that I never got photographed, that I do need to photograph and get into the database. I'm guessing that probably won't happen until early next week, since, like I said, we have a wedding tomorrow, and when we come back on Sunday, Usually it's just kind of a rest and recovery day from that sort of thing. And then there are still Advent kits available. If you are interested, still pre-orders are up until I sell them out. But if you're interested in ordering a Advent countdown kit, Very Fun Yarns has one for 2025 that is, I'm so excited about you all seeing. It's going to be so fun to open it. I have them all wrapped already, so I will have forgotten what they look like by the time we open it. But I know when I did them, I loved them all, and I was very excited about it. It's based off of the movie The Santa Claus with Tim Allen from the 90s. Not necessarily all Christmas colors, but I went through the movie when I got to a scene where I really loved the line, and I wanted to make a colorway after that. So all the colors are lines from the movie. Then I paused the video and I just kind of looked at the scene, and that's where I drew my colors from. So some of them may be Christmassy, but a lot of them, in fact, probably most of them, wouldn't be what you would consider Christmassy, especially because as a natural yarn dyer, I can't get a super bright red, or even, well, I can get a pretty solid green, but red is definitely, my reds always lean kind of pink or purple, I would have to say. So anyway, if you're interested in that, those pre-orders are up online. There will be a link below, and you can get yours in before they are no longer available, because this will probably be the last year. I am 99.9% confident I will not be doing a Advent countdown kit in the future in this way. I really have enjoyed the way I'm designing things more. So if I do put out some sort of Advent box, it will probably be more of a kit that revolves around a pattern of some sort. So, okay, I think that's it. Only about 25 minutes, a pretty short one today. But like I said, I have some rainy day video that I will intersperse in here for you all to see what's happening at our farm and in my garden. And yeah, I hope you're all well wherever you are. And thanks so much for coming back to the channel or checking this video out if you're new. And I look forward to seeing you again in the very near future. Take care, everybody. Bye.